cause BruKnows, he knows. BruKnows, what you tryna find out? 3, 2, 1, Bruno knows starts now.
Welcome to another episode of BruKnows. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to grow the page, as you guys know. If you don't follow the boy on the gram, follow the boy on the gram at BRVNO. I'm super excited for our guest today. I have a Banjo legend, Andy Thorn, on the podcast. Thanks for coming, bro.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
What's up, dude? I thought it was funny. So Andy actually parked down the street, and he was reparking. Brought the banjo along. He was driving with the banjo, you know?
Yeah, this banjo I brought has no case, so I'm usually just walking around with it when I'm taking it in somewhere.
Yeah, do you just carry it around like all the time? Are you constantly just playing a little bit?
I'm always picking right here like this. That's in high school they called me Crawdad because on the lacrosse team they called me Crawdad because my fingers were always doing this apparently.
Did you play lacrosse?
I did, badly. No, I was all state in North Carolina public school. Not, a huge accomplishment. But
I don't know too much about lacrosse. That sounds pretty gangster, though.
It's a fun sport. Of course, music took over my life by the time I was a senior in high school and I quit.
Oh, really?
I think I also found marijuana at the same time, so.
You still have you got the lacrosse flow, you know?
Yeah, it's fun to throw around still. But yeah, this banjo, I just don't even take it in a case or anything. This is kind of the one I play around the house.
Yeah.
This is not the one I take on tour. That's much heavier and more annoying, unfortunately.
That's awesome. Does your wife love the banjo playing? Because I'm sure.
Hell no.
It'd probably get annoying after 10 years. How long have you been married for?
It has. Well, we've been married 5 and together for 10 years. So yeah, she's probably had enough of banjo at this point, but
she could probably play backup, you know? She's seen so much banjo playing.
I try to force her to play. Yeah. I make her sing. We write songs together, so that's awesome. Really fun.
Yeah, was she a songwriter before? Or
no, but she's a writer.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
It's really fun to do that together.
Yeah, what kind of stuff does she write?
She wrote for Boulder Weekly for a while, and her job right now is actually as the... Oh, sorry, guys.
You're good. Oh, no! I think you could tighten her up right here. You see this one right here?
I'm very pro, aren't I?
There you go, dude.
This is... wait, which one tightens this?
Ooh, I think you got to bring the little clasps together around the back. There you go. Ooh, that's probably my fault. So there's supposed to be some strings that hold it, but I think I also don't put this in a case. And so I just tore the strings apart. They were super loose.
I think we're safe now.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's definitely the most professional podcast I've done. It's usually Zoom in my basement. So
yeah, it sounded like you had started one, huh?
I started a little podcast called Holy Shit, I'm a Dad right after having a kid. And it was like our therapy. We would talk to musician dads and usually ones that had a lot more experience than us. Some new dads, but we learned a lot.
Yeah. What kind of musicians did you have on? Anybody that I would know or something like that?
More musicians in our genres, in the jam band world. So we had Keller Williams. We had Mahali from Twiddle.
Okay.
He's really great. We had Joe Russo from Joe Russo's Almost Dead. All jam bands, which you may not have heard of.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there would have heard of them, though.
No, absolutely. And I probably need to grow my palette for music anyways. I love music, any type of music, but it's one of those things you feel. You're like, oh, I like this song.
Right.
Maybe it's a rock song or something like that.
Well, I'm glad the banjo spoke to you in some way.
No, dude, I was going through your Instagram, and I was just like, yo, I didn't even know people could play like this. I've never been exposed to banjo playing. Is that what you started with, or did you start in I'm imagining North Carolina. It's
That's
not like
where
you
I
just
grew up.
grab a banjo, right? Or is that?
Yeah, I grew up in North Carolina, so there's a lot of bluegrass music around all the time, and it's really casual in a way that normal people play it. They have other jobs. They're not really pursuing it for a career. Yeah. It's more like their hobby and their passion. And I really loved that. I think I started playing banjo when I was 12.
Okay.
And what I really liked about it was jamming with people And I've pretty much made all my best friends in life through music.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just kind of a cool connection, and I'm glad I get to do it for a living still.
Yeah, dude, that's beautiful. When did how did that even come about? 12 years old. I mean, somebody just bought you one and
I bought one at my neighbor's yard sale.
wow.
Pretty
For
crazy.
how much?
$50.
Oh, okay. So your neighbor wasn't even being nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Usually a yard sale, you could kind of sneak.
Right. I mean,
Cute
I
little
think
kid.
that's a fairly cheap banjo. Banjos
Okay.
are not they're not cheap instruments.
They're not.
This one is. That's why I just carry it around with no case all the time, beating it up. But yeah, they're expensive instruments, so $50. I thought that was a deal.
Dude, that's awesome. And then you self-taught or what?
I learned just from a bunch of different people in North Carolina that you can pick stuff up from. And then I actually went to college for music too.
That's awesome.
At UNC Chapel Hill.
Okay. UNC
So-
in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, big school.
Took me a
too.
long time to leave. So glad I moved to Colorado.
Yeah, when did you do that?
When I was about 25. So in 2008, I moved out here in my station wagon, just loaded up with all my possessions, and I haven't looked back since. Friggin' love it out here.
Yeah, that's such a musician story, you know, just driving across the country with the banjo.
Got the gig, drove out. There you go.
That's awesome. And you have a band, right? You're
Yes.
in a band. What's
I'm
the
in a-
name of the band?
It's called Leftover Salmon.
Yeah, I looked that up and I was like, that's a great name.
Yeah, this band is a legendary band. They've been around since 1989.
Yeah,
So as you can tell, I was not an original member.
yeah.
But I've been in the band for 13 years now
That's crazy.
and still kind of the new guy. But they don't treat me like that, obviously. But yeah, we just got inducted into the Colorado Music Hall of Fame.
Bro, that is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's great to
Yeah.
be on this ride with these guys.
How did you
And-
get that connect? Did they reach out to you or
They
did you
did.
audition or?
They did reach out to me through a friend though, who
Yeah.
my friend was leaving the band on banjo, and he reached out to me and recommended me to replace him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were already rock star on the banjo. You had been playing a long time.
I was
obviously.
unsure. Like, I mean, I felt good about my skills, but I was like, oh man, is this gonna last? Is this? So when I drove out in my station wagon, nothing was really for sure,
Yeah.
and I just lived in campsites for a year, pretty much, in between being on tour.
That's awesome. But I feel like you do well at campsites. You know, I kind of got the vibe that you like love nature, maybe love camping, maybe do
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of stuff like that.
That's what drew me to Colorado. I'd been out here as a kid, and I love hiking, skiing, mountain biking, so this was the place to come.
Dude, absolutely.
When you
I
add the
don't do
music
enough.
scene, it's
Yeah.
and what brought you here?
My family's actually from Brazil, so
Uh-huh.
it was kind of a, American dream, I guess. And then my parents knew somebody that lived in Denver, and so we just kind of stopped here. We were actually going to Illinois. That was like final destination, but my dad came a year earlier. We stopped in Denver, and then he just loved it. Ended up like grabbing a place, getting everything set up, and then we followed him. So I've been here since 2003.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so it's been a long time, but I love it here too. I don't try as much of the, all the good stuff it has to. Like I snowboard, but like once a year maybe.
Yeah.
I want to rep those numbers up for sure.
You got to come up to my neighborhood, and I'll
Yeah.
take you on a hike.
Okay, it
Yeah.
looks beautiful, dude.
It's the
Where
best.
is it that you live?
I'm in the North Boulder foothills, kind of near Jamestown and Gold Hill.
Yeah,
In between Boulder and Gold Hill, it's the greatest.
yeah, you love it. Never leaving.
Absolutely love it. We'll
Did you
never
meet
move.
your wife here in Denver too?
We met in Boulder. We actually met in Aspen,
Okay,
although we both lived in Boulder. So, yep, been married and we have a kid now.
that's awesome. How old?
He's almost 2.
Almost 2. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
So
It is
COVID
crazy.
baby, you had him during COVID.
No, like I'm usually on tour so much. When COVID started to hit, all my stuff got canceled, and my wife was like, "Now is the time. We're gonna get pregnant. We're gonna do this now." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
So talk about like the amount of at least regular times, right? You can kind of distract yourself a little bit, but talk about being a hands-on dad, right? Over those 2 years, you were probably very involved in
Yeah.
just raising the kid.
I mean, during the pregnancy, I was home the entire time, and it was kind of, I mean, it was well-timed because of that, but touring did come back the next year.
Yeah.
So we were taking our 3-month-old baby to like Telluride Bluegrass Festival, to all these festivals and concerts. This kid grew up at concerts last summer.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious. And now he's just becoming such a good traveler because we take him places all the time. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to just like build that into him a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it's
Build the
cool to see
lifestyle
him
in.
start to love being it. He's like, Dad, show. Dad, show. He wants to come to the show.
That's awesome, dude.
It's pretty great.
Does he have like musical talents that you can see?
No,
No?
not yet. Not yet, but he's getting there. He's going to love it.
Yeah,
I
dude.
hope.
My wife and I are we're pregnant and we're doing May.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so it's
Congrats.
super exciting.
I thought I
I'm,
saw
like,
that
trying to
online.
take-
I didn't
yeah.
want to say anything if it but get ready, man.
Yeah.
Your whole life's about to change.
I'm like asking everybody for advice a little bit. I'm like, so do you know what
You got
if he has
this.
skills?
The first year, just get as much help as you can.
Yeah.
We didn't have very much help. That was the negative of COVID.
Yeah.
Like the music industry had sort of started, but in terms of our older families coming, traveling at that time and stuff, they weren't really comfortable traveling yet. So
Yeah. Where's her family from? Are they from
we're
Boulder
both from
as
the
well?
East Coast, so
Oh,
we don't
nice.
have family around. So if you have family around,
Yeah.
take their help. You're gonna need it.
Automatic babysitters, you know?
Yeah, I would even recommend getting one of the automatic bassinets. They
Ooh.
like sense when your baby's crying and rock them for you.
Ooh.
Get us. It's
I'm
called a
gonna get enough for
snoo.
that. A
It's,
snoo?
it's called a snoo. Just get one.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Sponsored. Just get
No,
it.
like our dad podcast should be sponsored because we just talk about our favorite products, and I've heard that one's really good.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, my wife has always given me a list of stuff. Like, what do you think about this? I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue. That sounds good. Get it. I
You need
guess.
it all. Lots of stuff.
No, dude. I was going through your Instagram and I saw like some video of you like playing the banjo to a fox.
Yes.
So is that like your fox? Do you have like, is that like a pet or is
No.
that just like rolled up?
That is just a fox that lives in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I think people think it's a pet at this point because I've put up so many videos playing for it. The first, like when this was all going on, it was the pandemic, and we realized this fox came to our house almost every day, or he'd be going through the yard. And at one point, I think I was playing banjo on the deck, and we noticed that he liked the music.
Wow.
And my wife caught a video on her phone, and it went kind of viral.
Yeah.
That's actually all I'm known for now, even though I'm in a band in the Colorado Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All people say to me is like, hey, did you bring the fox? Did you bring the fox? It's my new most asked question.
So did you start playing and then it just like started getting closer and closer?
That's really what was happening in the beginning of hanging out with this fox. And then as time went on, it would become, oh, the fox is here. Let's go out there and see if he wants to listen to a song, and we'll try to like recreate the magic of that one video. But that one video is the one where the magic just happened, and it's pretty cool. It got me an online following, and I feel like all these people that didn't like banjo before or didn't think they did, now they like banjo because of this video.
Dude, that's so crazy. Have you given it a name or anything like
The
that?
tune? The fox.
The fox. Or the tune. Yeah, both.
Oh, well, I was thinking, yeah, both. We named the fox Foxy.
Foxy. Very
Sorry,
original.
it's not very original, but it just happened over time. Foxy. Yeah.
And then, it looks like that's also the album cover, right?
That is.
Of an album you just dropped. Is that a
Yeah.
solo album or is that?
It's a solo album just under my name, and it's totally different from what the band I'm in does. The band is really high energy, and there's like long solos and there's jams, but this album is more like the videos that I put up on Instagram, which are sort of like little melodies that I write at sunrise.
Yeah.
I go outside and just sort of improvise a tune.
Yeah.
And it's really fun because it's peaceful music. There's no solos. It's sort of just natural. It's like listening to nature or air or something.
Yeah, dude. So it's kind of one of those things like you might play in the background while you're, doing something around the house.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like morning coffee music, or if you're like backcountry skiing or something, put it on. It'll take you to the woods.
have you ever dabbled in other like genres a little bit? Have you ever done any collabs where maybe a banjo shouldn't be there, but it is?
I mean, banjo in a rock band is sort of almost that.
Yeah.
And my band is definitely more of a rock band, Leftover Salmon. We have drums and keyboards and all this stuff. So you're already kind of expanding what banjo used to do in most groups. But it's been really fun to do some even more different stuff. Like I did a series of Mac Miller covers.
Ooh.
I know, rest in peace, but really got into a few of his songs, and like lyrically they really spoke to me.
Yeah.
And so I have 3 of his covers on Spotify you can check out too.
Good. I'll check that out for sure. When are you guys going back on tour?
We'll be back on tour a lot this winter.
Yeah.
We'll be at Winter Wondergrass. We're playing in the ski towns like Frisco, Crested Butte.
Oh, that's nice.
I'll be in Denver next Saturday night, February 4th,
Yeah.
for a late
Just
night.
you.
Me with a bunch of guys. I got the bass player from the Motet
Okay.
and Ross James on guitar.
Ooh.
And we're going to be playing a late night show at New Conscious. This place is cool. It's a cool club.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I need to check it out. I live in Colorado Springs, so I
nice.
commute sometimes,
Yeah.
I think we're both like equidistant
It's in the
away
middle.
from Denver.
It's in the middle.
Yeah, dude. No, that's awesome. Let me ask you this. Can you play the banjo for us a little bit?
Absolutely. See if I can not knock down the mic this time,
dude.
because it probably
That's my
overload
fault.
with distortion.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds
I'll
great.
play the tune from the video,
Yeah.
and this one we called Aesop Mountain, like Aesop's Fables or something.
Yeah.
And a friend actually named this on a little Instagram naming contest. So
Okay.
here it is.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let me turn my mic up. That's great.
This thing makes a lot of sound, doesn't it?
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy. I've never heard some of those sounds. How many strings does it have? 5?
It's a 5-string banjo.
Yeah.
The traditionally banjos had 4 strings, like in jazz music in the 1920s and stuff on Louis Armstrong. You'll hear tenor banjo, which had 4, but then Earl Scruggs kind of popularized the 5-string.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing here is clawhammer, which usually you play banjo with picks on,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit flashier. And to me, that's what I do in the band, but I kind
Yeah.
of like this better in a way because it's so relaxing.
Yeah, dude.
And I just use my gigantic fingernail, which
You just grew that one out. That's
you don't want to
just for
accidentally.
banjo
This
players?
is just for. It's very strong. You don't want to get scraped by accident. I'm always like looking out with my baby that I don't scratch the heck out of him with this thing.
Dude, that's awesome. So you
But
just
it gives you that little accuracy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just that little.
Dude, that is so crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I try to pick up guitar. I don't have the patience to get good at it. I'm
Yeah.
like, even try to. How did you learn? And this is kind of more for me. Was it like trying to pick apart a song and do a specific song, or did you actually learn like musical notes and all this stuff before you went to music school? Obviously.
It was a little bit of both. I took piano lessons as a kid and some guitar, But with banjo, it's a little bit harder to read music,
Yeah.
which was kind of nice. A lot of people recommend you just learn by ear, which is kind of a nice way to learn, and it makes it easier to jam with others.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to improvise and stuff because instead of just being locked to the page, you're able to make stuff up.
Yeah.
So in a jam band that I'm in now, that was good training because you never know what these lead guys are going to do. Like,
So you're just following,
yeah.
you know, doing your own like freestyle version of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you do every time, but then there's always different stuff happening. Like, you'll never see the same show
Dude, that's
if you
awesome.
come to see us.
That's awesome. You know, and it sounds like you guys are very popular. What are some of the bigger cities that you guys do that brings the most people to the shows?
We definitely do the best here in Colorado
Yeah.
because that's where the band started. We do Red Rocks, and I think we're going to do Fiddler's Green this summer.
Yeah.
I've never played there. That's going to be fun.
That's an awesome venue.
Cool. I've never even been there, actually.
Really?
Which is crazy.
I've been there 5 times, and every single time it was to see Rascal Flatts for some reason. Like, I wasn't even a country fan at the time. I just like somehow always end up with Rascal Flatts tickets.
I would see them.
Yeah, it's a great show, great band.
Yeah, man. Country's grown on me a lot. But we love to play Colorado. We love to play a lot of city. I mean, we do great on the West Coast at festivals. We do well in San Francisco. We'll play New York. But festivals are really where we do the best, and we're known as a festival band because these guys kind of grew up going out into the crowds after the show is done and like jamming with everybody in the campsite, and they're kind of legendary for that.
Dude, no, that's awesome. How's Red Rocks?
Red Rocks is sick.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sight to stand there and look up at all the people. It doesn't really feel like a 10,000 person concert.
Yeah.
It feels a lot more intimate than that because everybody's right in front of you the way the bleachers go straight up. So, and we live here, so you're always looking out and seeing all your friends and your family. Yeah, it's the greatest gig there is, probably.
Do you help, like, I noticed you write songs too. Is that something that you guys craft together, or is at this point, you know, the band's just playing the greatest hits that everybody wants to hear?
A little bit of both. We do a lot of the old classics, which the lead guys wrote, but it's really cool. They've let me bring a lot of my songwriting in, and I get like 2 songs per album, probably.
Yeah, that's
I've gotten a few title tracks, and me and Vince Herman, who's the lead singer, we've co-written 3 songs together, I think, and those are really fun to do.
That's so crazy. Were you a fan of them before you even came on board?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up loving those guys. They were sort of I grew up on more traditional bluegrass, and these guys were like hippie bluegrass from Colorado that were being crazy on stage, and that was the first time I'd seen that. And I was more of a hippie kid, or wannabe. So I was like, oh, that looks more fun than the traditional guys in suits.
Yeah.
So that spoke to me.
Dude, that's so wild. You know, I think I even mentioned to you, right, I wrestle, right, and I just came from wrestling practice. That's why, you know, I got the face beat up. And for me, you know, training with some of these guys, these are guys I'm like, holy shit, I'm like really training with this dude. Do you still have those moments of just like, whoa, this is crazy? I was like, you know, a kid watching these, and now I'm over here playing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get old. I love these guys. I'll always be a cheerleader for their band, which is now our band.
Yeah.
And then the people we get to play with, like, you probably haven't heard of any of these people, but we just had Sam Bush with us at the Boulder Theater. We get to play with Keller Williams, just all these amazing musicians I grew up enjoying, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. How did this happen during wrestling? I want to know, man.
I don't know. I literally sent a picture to my wife. I was just driving on my way here, and I looked in the rear view mirror. I was just like, what the heck? I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it like, will it bleed? Is it just, you know, mat burn or something? But,
yeah.
I guess it comes with the territory, right? I got a little headbutt too, and I kind of like dropped down. It wasn't a little headbutt. It actually hurt quite a bit, but, you know, I didn't even notice. So
that's hardcore.
You know, different territory. It's my version of playing the banjo.
Yeah, I got to pull up a video of you doing your thing, man. That would probably scare me, but.
Well, this next concert here, you said it's next Saturday?
Yeah, February 4th, I'll be at New Conscious in Denver.
Yeah, guys, so go check them out if you're in Denver. I feel like inspired to just dabble into new music now, you know what I'm saying?
You got to go on Spotify and check out Leftover Salmon and
Yeah.
then the related artists. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, dude.
And go to my page. I've got the new album out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what you played for us there, that was the one that originally attracted the Fox?
Yeah, that was.
Dude, that's so crazy.
It was like I just improv that song when the Fox was there, and then the video got popular, and people all over the world were like, "What song is that? What's it called?" Well, and I had no name for it. It was just nothing.
That's
So
crazy.
finally recorded it.
Yeah, when you record, what does that process look like? Is it just in a studio, or how does that look?
The new album I just did was so casual. It
Yeah.
was awesome. It was in my friend's basement studio, which is a great studio, and it was just me and two other guys.
Yeah.
And it's a really stripped down album, which was really fun to do because usually with the band there's 6 band members and there's like a producer and there's all these people.
Yeah.
So this was really cool to take it way down to the roots and just yeah.
Yeah, so it was just more of like kind of similar situation, just a mic there and just playing.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all have mics, and then there's a
Yeah.
guy running the studio, and he's really good at editing and mixing, and it's all live playing.
Yeah.
And it's got that vibe.
Well, I mentioned to you I'm from Brazil, and a lot of the ways that music is recorded in Brazil, they're like all live albums for the most part. So it'll be like a recording of a show and the person performing, and you hear the crowd in almost like every song. It's almost impossible to find like a studio recorded song. And I've just always thought that was so cool, because you kind of get to hear the crowd. It just feels authentic. And I think nowadays there's so much stuff mixed into the music that, and not that you like lose some of the artistry, right? But even like you playing with your nail is a little bit different than a pick, it just feels more authentic,
Yeah.
right?
No, I like live recordings a lot because all that studio magic is taken away, and you just get to hear the pure music.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool about bluegrass and seeing live music in general. Like, even if you go see like a lot of styles of live music now, they're using pre-recorded tracks.
Yeah.
If you see a DJ or a rapper or any of the, I bet very few of those people have a live band.
Right.
I still really like seeing a live band, but I really appreciate electronic music and what producers put together. I love hip hop and all that stuff, but to see it live, I really like seeing a live band playing.
Yeah. It's just something, it like hits your heart a little bit, it gets everything flowing. You're
Totally.
just like, oh, it's a whole different vibe. you
Yeah, if I'm going to listen to pre-recorded stuff, I can listen to it at home.
know? Yeah, that's
You
true.
know.
Let me ask you this. So you mentioned that the guys were crazy. They were doing crazy stuff on stage. What does that mean in bluegrass? Like, are they smashing banjos or like, because when I think
Dude,
crazy, I
you-
picture stuff like that.
No, more like bizarre. Okay. Okay, well, first of all, these guys, their mascot is the Mayor McCheese. Like, it's a giant cheeseburger head that they stole from a McDonald's playground in the early 90s.
Wow.
They carried this thing around with them for like 10 years straight
To all the shows?
to every show they played, and it would just be sitting on stage. And they would have this thing called the Mare Toss, and they would like go sledding on it. They would, yeah, I mean, it's a
show.
It's
They're putting on a show besides
Or
even the
I think they
music,
were just like doing whatever was funny to them when they were on acid at the time. I don't know. I mean, these guys were wild, and then it became a tradition to steal the mayor.
Oh.
So like somebody in the crowd would like sneak up on the speaker and grab it, and then they'd send like ransom notes. Yeah,
And
but
they would pay,
That's
get it
kind
back?
of like on off stage. But this thing, it was hilarious to me back in the day. But they would just like run around on stage. They'd like throw corn during a song called Hot Corn, Cold Corn. They're funny guys.
Yeah. Have they kept that same energy now that they've gotten older?
They have. They're in their 60s, but they can party harder than me sometimes. They're pretty chill these days. but they love music.
Yeah.
And that's awesome that they still love it after all these years.
And what's the drink of choice for you guys when you're going out? Are you a big beer guy? Do you drink or?
I do, and I like to drink light beer
Yeah.
during a show because it never gets me too buzzed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's nice to be sipping on something, and if I'm sipping on something strong, it
Yeah.
might get me too buzzed.
Yeah, I feel like at UNC you might have gotten a lot of the partying out of the way too.
Yeah, I was in a bluegrass band that played frat parties, so
Yeah, was your degree in music? What did you get a degree in?
it was in music.
Oh,
And it was
Yeah.
it was like a focus in jazz guitar,
okay,
which I did there too,
that's awesome.
but I was never very good at it.
Yeah, that's so crazy that I'm glad you're in like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or the Music Hall of Fame.
Colorado Hall of Fame.
Colorado.
Big
Hall of
difference,
Fame.
but,
Bro. That's still huge. Though.
Hey, it's something.
Yeah, have you taken people out there to go see it? Was there like a
Yeah, there's a little
grand opening kind of thing?
They presented us with something at the Boulder Theater when we just played there, and there's a little exhibit at Red Rocks. You can go see the Colorado Hall of Fame exhibit
Yeah.
in the trading post. It's really cool.
Dude, that's absolutely
Yeah.
awesome. And one day, you're going to take your son out there. I'm sure you've taken him already, right? But he'll
has.
probably be able to like process
Yeah,
the
It's pretty
magnitude
great.
of it,
it's pretty awesome.
What other types of music do you bump, other than bluegrass?
I love bluegrass, but I don't really listen to a lot of it at home.
Yeah.
I used to, as I was learning it. Now I kind of like more relaxing music, I'd say.
Yeah.
I really like the whole indie folk vibe that bands are doing. Band called Watch House. They're actually friends of ours, but I love their stuff. Bonnie Light Horseman. These are like, it's sort of folk music, but it's indie rock. It's a really cool movement. I also love hip hop and electronic and a little bit of everything, but I don't love loud music.
Yeah.
Or like metal or anything. Maybe if I was trying to get pumped up to fight somebody, but I'm kind of more of a chiller these days.
Do you see yourself collabing with, maybe like a hip hop artist and doing something in that realm? Has that ever like piqued your interest?
It would be really, really cool if anyone ever needs banjo out there. Let me know.
Dude, I might know a couple of guys. We had a guy by the name of Jacob Campbell. He's a local rapper here in Denver. He was actually on this show called Rhythm and Flow on Netflix.
Nice.
And he's been making like all different types of music. But it's my opinion, right? But when somebody's like got that look in their eye, you're just like, oh, I can tell this person's gonna like.
They're gonna succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes drive.
Absolutely. And after he left, he was playing some music that was like pop or whatever, And I was just like, bro, this is great too. Like, this is almost just as good as the rapping,
Yeah.
So that always makes me curious because I'm not a creative in that aspect. Like, I have no musical talent, but I love music, So I'm always listening to different stuff. And I'm like, oh, even watching you play the banjo, I'm like, man, could I play the banjo? Is like what I'm thinking.
You should try it.
Yeah, I probably got to grow my nail a little bit,
No, I love hip hop music. Playing banjo and some of that stuff would be really cool. I know this producer out in Atlanta who was like, "Oh, Diplo's looking for some new sounds. Like, send me a few demos." Never heard anything back. So, but that was like, wow, maybe my shit could be on some real DJ stuff.
Bro, you might hear it drop randomly, and then have to call him for the royalties.
I doubt it. You can have it.
Dude, I want to thank you for coming, man. I do want to hear a little bit more banjo.
Yes,
and then
sir.
If we could just talk about your show. Is it sold out? Can people still get tickets?
Yeah, they just announced it.
Okay.
And something we put together last minute.
Yeah.
It's kind of an after show. There's a show at the Mission Ballroom and at First Bank Center.
Okay.
And it'll be a lot of the same fans because it's all jam band shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be going on at midnight.
Okay.
This club's really cool because you have to be a member, but I don't think that's expensive. And then once you are, when you go to a show, it's free drinks.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's no like paying.
Yeah.
You just order a drink and get it. It's got a vibe.
Go
because
back
of
to
that.
the music.
Yeah, and it's really fun. So,
Good. So how would somebody get a membership, or if they wanted to watch you on Saturday?
I think you just go to the New Conscious website,
Okay.
KNEW.
KNEW.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's hear some banjo, man, and then I'll let you get out of here.
Let's see. I'll do something fast for you.
All right. Wow, dude. That was
Kind of lost
so
it with my
crazy.
headphones on, but yeah, that was. Try it seriously.
All right, let
Just
me try.
I want to see you on this thing.
Dude, I don't think I even know what I'm doing.
It's
Let's
in
see.
an open tuning. Nothing can
I
sound
don't know
bad.
what that means.
Just other way. Yeah, just pluck it a little bit with your right hand. We'll send you guys out with a
Oh, dude, that sounds so crazy.
give it a full strum. It sounds
So I do this finger?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what
Not
I'm doing
bad.
on top. Yeah.
nice, man.
Dude, no, that's awesome. That's such a unique sound, even the way it vibrates in my
Isn't
hand.
it cool? I just
Yeah.
wanted you to feel that power, that
Yeah.
banjo power.
That is power right
Yeah.
there. Where can the people follow you? Where can they, follow your career?
Go to andythornmusic.com and you can find everything from there.
Perfect.
No E on Thorn.
Okay.
Andy
People do
Thorn
that?
Music. Yeah, they put an E on the end of Thorn.
Yeah, and what about your Instagram?
That is Thorn Pipe.
Thorn Pipe.
Like a hornpipe with a T on the front.
Well, follow the man. If he was able to get the interest of a fox, I'm sure you're going to enjoy the banjo playing. Andy, thanks for coming, man.
Thank you for having
I'll
me.
catch you here soon. Good luck on Saturday. I appreciate
Come
the
check out
banjo.
the show.
I will, dude. I will. Absolutely. Guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.